back to my channel. My name's Judith, and today we will be discussing a day in the life of a digital marketer, realistically, at least for me. I know everyone works in different marketing sectors, therefore your day is going to look different than mine, and you also have a different lifestyle than I do. So please take this with a grain of salt. This is just my day-to-day, how I go about my digital marketing. I am very fortunate that I get to work from home since my full-time job went remotely last year due to the pandemic, and my contracting gig is actually remote as well. I love being at home with my fur babies and my loved one. That's the perks of working remotely. Notice that I sit in different areas just because my full-time job, I have to actually be stationary since I have a dual monitor setup where I look at a lot of spreadsheets and platforms. Therefore, I cannot move around, but I do have my contracting gig, which allows me to work from my laptop, and I can take my laptop anywhere. That's where you'll see the differences in scenes as to where I sit, because I like fresh air and I don't like to be cooped up inside. I'm a social butterfly. So with that, let's get right into it today. You go get coffee? Come on, let's go. You go get coffee? Usually get coffee most mornings at this coffee shack called Pine Coffee.
Pine. P-I-N-N-E-D.
Yes. Pinned coffee. Coffee in the morning makes everything better. Pined. I was corrected. It's a pinned coffee. Pinned coffee, not pined. I don't know why I say pine all the time. Lily, your privacy has been invaded. Usually every morning we come and get coffee and walk Lily. So she's good till noon, until our lunch break. This is the park right across from where we live. It's pretty nice. I don't know what to call this video. I mean, a day in the life of a digital marketer. Today is a Monday, and I'm excited to start this week. Kinda. They walk you through day in the life of a digital marketer. Nothing too exciting, but realistically, this is at least how my life looks like. I don't think it's all flashy or anything like that. Once upon a time, I used to go to events because of agency life, but nowadays it's just really staying at home and having one side of my job be full-time stationary because of a dual monitor setup, and the other side is because I'm also a contractor. I'm able to be flexible with work and take this laptop wherever possible. So today I'm actually outside overlooking downtown. This is my patio, and I come out here every morning to get the first hour out of the way, as for the rest of the day I'm actually going to be cooped up inside, since again my setup for my full-time job doesn't allow me to be flexible and move wherever I would like to. So start my first contracting job, or I start my contracting job from 7:30 in the morning to 8:30, and I log into Asana, which is a project management system where the owner of the agency I work for, he actually loads in tasks, due dates, and that pertains to this particular task, such as assets, anything that I need to know as far as descriptions goes in this platform, and I just monitor the platform, make sure that I'm meeting the deadlines, and making sure that it fits within the overall calendar that I have for the month. Really, this is realistically how I start the day, because I really want to try and free up my evenings as much as possible to grow this YouTube channel. I can't really do that if I'm spending 3 to 4 hours after my actual job to fulfill this. So I actually wake up at 5 in the morning every day to get a workout in from 5 to 6 and get shower, eat, and everything for shower, eat from 6 to 7, and then I try to get coffee from 7 to 7:15, and then realistically start my contracting job from 7:30 to 8:30. After my full-time job, which is a 9 to 5 job, sometimes 9 to 6, depending on how busy I get, I work an additional 2 hours, sometimes 3, so from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 to do the contracting job, and then after that from 9 to 11 I try to focus on YouTube. But I also nowadays try to focus on YouTube during my free time, so during lunch or when I'm showering I listen to how to improve my YouTube channel. Particularly for this client, I focus on KPIs, key performance indicators. I also make sure that their return on ad spend makes sense, depending on their budget. For me and for our and for the company I work for this particular contracting job, return on ad spend is a great return on ad spend is a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning that for every dollar you put in, you make $4 back. For this particular client, that's what we focus on. So we look at the trends, we look at the engagement rate, we make sure that the audience are set up correctly, that we are not overspending on the CPM or the CPC. And in addition to that, we also focus on leads, how many leads the ads are driving. So 5 key performance indicators for this particular client is the cost per click, the cost per million in impressions, so the CPM. We also focus on the return on ad spend. We focus on the cost per acquisition, so the cost per the actual lead, or depending on the goal that you think is considered a lead or a conversion. And then we also focus on the engagement rate, and we also focus on the click-through rate. Healthy click-through rate, at least for Facebook, which I'm focusing on right now for this particular client, is a 2%. Anything below a 2% is not performing well as far as a click-through. All right, so I wanted to show you my setup. I usually work in the dark, so I don't really turn on my light, but I do have a neon light that I bought on Etsy, which I love. This person actually was able to do it 50% off. Actually, it's not 50% off, but I did a lot of searching, and a lot of these neon signs are really expensive, maybe like around $350 or so for an average mid-sized neon sign. But this person was able to do it. I think I paid $123, and the sign's pretty big. So I wanted to show you, because normally you'll see throughout the video that I have some light going on, but that's so you can quality as far as watching the day in the life of a digital marketer. But typically, normally I work with the light off and just turn on my neon sign. I am really big on working in an environment where it makes you happy. So if you're looking at things, you have your desk set up, your wall all decorated. I'm still working on the office, by the way. We recently moved into this apartment like 3 months ago, but really it encourages you and motivates you to work well within your environment. If you don't like your environment, you're just not going to do the work. So I just wanted to show you really quick. And the busted beats, I'm not going to buy new beats. These are expensive. They work fabulous. They still function well, besides getting loose sometimes. You can see the black tape. it doesn't snap back in anymore. It ain't broke, don't try and fix it. I still don't consider this broke, but I'm not buying new beats, like savings. I love these. They were gifted by my brother. He's now in Japan. I miss him, but these are like awesome beats. So I don't care. I'm keeping these. Anyway, every morning around 9, we make sure that we all get together, and this is having a meeting with the creative team. Since we work very closely with the creative team, this is to keep us in line to make sure that we are meeting sprint. And a sprint is when the marketing team, at least for us, the marketing team requests certain information, such as creative banners, copy requests from the content team. We make sure that we put those in weeks ahead and make sure that we are meeting our deadline for our sprint is on a weekly basis. So we make sure that we introduce the ideas on a Wednesday and every department completes those tasks for the following week. So it goes week for week. And these daily stand-ups helps us, since we are not face-to-face, it helps us really keep all of us in check and make sure that everybody's aligned. And if we're not aligned, how can we correct it to make sure that we're on pace to meet those requests within deadline. She likes to sit with me and work with me. Hi, Baba. Today, one of the things that I'm working on are bulk sheets. Bulk sheets are used for SA360 to upload ads, to upload keywords, to make sure you're trafficking keywords correctly, if that's what you're doing on a keyword level, or URL tracking. And in addition to that, making sure that we're uploading the actual ad group. If you're handling a massive Google account, bulk sheets really allow you to expedite that process, so it's not manually and you're not spending 1,000 hours or so, because if you have a massive account, it can take forever to upload campaigns, ad groups, ads, text ads, and keywords. I think on average, the account that I handle has about 350,000 keywords, and sometimes when we make changes, let's say we created a brand new URL that has a better user experience, we want to traffic those people or those keywords to a landing page that makes sense for ad relevancy. So we have to retraffic every single keyword, and if we have 350,000 or so keywords in our account, that means that you have to retraffic those, and you definitely don't want to do those manually. So we use bulk sheets in SA360 to make sure that we're uploading to all the accounts that we manage. If you're handling multiple accounts, not just within the United States, but maybe Australia or other parts around the globe. So that's one thing that I'm working on today. It's going to take maybe most of my time, and also promotion building. So making sure that we're building our promotions based on GDN banners, discovery, and also SEM text ads, in addition to YouTube site links, which is a new thing.
I'm just starting some of the project builds today for SEM, and that is what I'll be focusing on. And then as the banners come in as approved, I will be uploading those as well.
Always remind yourself to eat, even if it's just snacking throughout the day, but I usually snack 30 minutes right before lunch. That way I don't overeat during lunch, and then I get sleepy right afterwards and don't feel like working. Lunch, we like to take Lily to the park across the street and then head back and get something to eat. What? She wants to steal my lunch. You want it? No, go eat your dog food. Normally for lunch every day I have curry tofu, pinto beans, white rice, salad mixed with I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, mixed with peeping sauce and dried shiitake mushrooms. It is pretty good. Oh, and I also add iodine to it. I'm just going to continue on with my uploading of bulk sheets. I've gotten halfway through. We still have a lot left, but I think it's going to go pretty smoothly after the first 4 hurdles I went through. Just changing all the URLs for each keyword and retrafficking those keywords to the new URL it's very time consuming, as I mentioned earlier. So this is going to take me another 2 hours or so. So I'm really hoping that I can get through this so I don't have to work overtime. What are you doing? How are you doing? She's cold. No. Ah! Look at that. You'll always be my little baby. Oh yeah. Nope, I'm over here. Over here. I'm not up there. You telling me to clock out? Huh? Telling me to stop working? All right, we're finally down to the last 2 hours of the day. Hooray, finally. So in the morning, I did my first hour of my contracting gig from 7:30 to 8:30. And then in the afternoon, I finished my last 2 hours. So I do a total of 3 hours for my contracting gig. And that's usually right after my full-time job, working remotely. From 5 to 6, we take Lily out to the park, which is right across the street from us, for another potty break. And also because I need a break, I need fresh air, and also I need to give my eyes some rest. I think moving your body is very important, stretching, whatever you have to do in between your day to really break that cycle of just sitting in front of your desk and not really getting that break. Speaking of the last 2 hours, I have 2 other clients. One, I am going to be looking at their LinkedIn ads to look at performance, to see how can I refine their targeting, see if we need to change the creative or not based on the engagement rate for the past week. For the other client, I'm going to be working on their Google AdWords account, just making sure that we're optimizing account. Now, a way that we optimize Google AdWords for this particular client is through a few things that we look at, and one of them is keyword harvesting. Keyword harvesting is essentially when you look at your search term, see what type of search term that someone typed in on the browser, Search terms are essentially and if a particular search term does not exist in your account, then but it converted, that's something that we want to add to the account. We either find a reasonable spot, and by reasonable spot I mean a campaign to an ad group. And if we cannot find a reasonable spot for that converted search term because it doesn't exist in the account, we make sure that we add either an ad group or a campaign depending on how large the volume of searches is for that particular search term. Another thing that we do is making sure that we are looking at keyword negatives. Keyword negatives are keywords that you find or search terms that people again are searching for, but they don't really relate to your business and therefore shouldn't really be costing you money because someone searched a particular keyword and your ad was served, and even worse, someone clicked on the ad, noticed that it was irrelevant to them, and then quickly bounce out of the landing page. That quickly exhausts your budget, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that you're conserving budget by adding those search terms to your keyword negative strategy. Another thing is keeping a healthy return on ad spend. For a lot of clients, return on ad spend and cost per acquisition are two of the most important key performing indicators, KPIs. Two of the most important key performing indicators, KPIs. And there are various ways you can keep a healthy return on ad spend. One of them is just making sure that you're looking at the amount of impressions, so how many times your ads get served to people, and just looking at the relevancy to the click-through rate. From there, if there's a healthy enough correlation, you dig deeper to see where you can actually conserve budget. Now, if there are a lot of impressions being served and it's a healthy click-through rate, but there's not a healthy amount of conversions, or there's something going on there. So maybe your landing page doesn't make sense to the customer. It could be that your ad is misleading. So you have to make sure that you're doing A/B testing to try and pinpoint exactly what's going on with your account, that you have a lot of impressions being served, you have a healthy amount of click-through rate, you have a healthy percentage of a click-through rate, your ads are not converting. Stop by to get some ice cream. This is the Pillow Talk, strawberry and chocolate covered marshmallows. You pretty? You pretty? Oreo. Hi. Oreo. For dinner, we're having acai bowls. They're more like smoothie bowls because there's no real acai in them. But these are the toppings: organic coconut, black chia seeds, organic goji berries. I'm having a brain fart. Granola, pecans, dairy-free chocolate chip cookies. Dairy-free chocolate chips. And we're trying these blue cornflower petals to add for some finesse. Smoothie bowl, we typically do 2 cups of frozen berries, 2 frozen bananas, greens. We put in this plant protein powder. This is our favorite Sun Warrior protein, vanilla flavored. And we also add coconut cream. You want some acai bowl, Baba? Yeah? And the final results. These are so freaking good. Look at that. Say bye-bye, Oreo. Let them know. Say bye-bye. No. Say thank you so much for joining me in a day in the life of a digital marketer today. I had so much fun doing it. And yes, I did change my clothes because I get bored. So yeah, that's something that I do. Please let me know in the comment section below if your day is very similar to mine, or just a day in the life of your job. I'd love to hear more about it. With that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.